you don't hold in a God or God, that you will suffer a hellish like ending of afterlife. If the person knows that it's really cause upsetness amongst the family members and concern and worry, yeah, there is long. I did that as a teenager up until my 20s with my mom, and I was thankful that my mom took it the wrong way. Eventually, she thought I was trying to convert her. When I said no, it's just I'm not convinced. I was convinced as a child. I played along, and when I shared that with her, she understood. Even though she was upset, she understood. So my issue is it's sad that a family cannot just accept other family members and be open about it. Like, okay, yeah, it's our belief. You don't believe it, cool. But I get his point to where he thinks it's going to instill fear because they hold it to be so true that this family member, if they say I don't believe in God, they're going to burn in hell. So it's a good stance. I accept it.
Reverend Scott, what say you?
Yeah, I think being told or thinking that people think you're going to hell, it's generally does facilitate of conversational or relational vibes.
There you go, Al. That you have a follow-up before we go to Josh, or are you?
No, I think that's it. It would be interesting. I should have asked. I'm asking this time. I'm like, what would you coming out as an atheist or you coming out as I wonder what would be more of the seismic shift. I mean, he's married, so
it's also possible that being gay, if he says that, they may lead to them thinking he's an atheist.
Yeah, I wonder which one.
You could also be gay and not be an atheist.
No, I know that, Caleb, but from the standpoint of them being very religiously strongly based, they may throw that in the mix.
Yeah, I just wonder what would be more of an emotional response.
Well, it sounds to me like they both have the same effect. That would be that the grandparents would think he's going to hell.
Right.
They would be thinking that for the rest of their life, so it has the same effect on the grandparents, no?
Yeah, it is. But it's surprising there's a large amount of people.
I would agree with you. I would say easily 10-15% of family members are in the closet regarding something. Whether it's being gay, whether it's being an atheist, whether it's being that they have a gambling problem, an alcohol problem, a drug problem, and they don't want the other family members to know. Yeah, they're in the closet about something, sure.
Because that's my cousin. Like, my cousin, I guess he calls himself kind of agnostic now, but he doesn't believe in the Bible at all. But his dad's my uncle, he's a preacher. But so he'll still stuff, but he's like, yeah, I really don't know about this. Right? So, but his dad has no idea. Like, none. Yeah, it's just the thing.
Oh, you're right. It's just a thing. And please stay on stage. I appreciate that. These are good comments. If you topics also, if you're in the audience and want to come up, please do. Next up is Joshua. Joshua, good morning. It's a pleasure to see you on the show. What would you like to talk about? Joshua going once. Joshua going twice. Oh, okay. Oh, hi. Well,
sorry.
Would you like to talk?
I was just trying to get things ready.
That's okay. What would you like to talk about?
I had my sandwich argument that I wanted to bring forth and see what is exactly wrong with it and how it can be improved.
Well, that's great, considering I've never heard the sandwich argument. Go ahead.
Awesome. So, as an atheist, I would like to disprove God with the sandwich argument. It goes as follows. If nothing is better than God, then something is better than God. Therefore, something is better than nothing. Therefore, something is better than God.
And what you want my... I'm glad Caleb understands it because I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. makes no sense to me whatsoever, but I'm a simpleton. Let's throw it around to Violet. Violet, what did you think about the sand argument?
I may have said it wrong.
No, hold on, Joshua. Hold on. We'll come back to you. Violet,
Yeah, I got
what do
you.
Violet, what do you think about the sandwich argument? I have no idea what the hell he's talking about.
Getting him correctly, he was trying that nothing is better than God, and so the nothing is something that's better than God. So therefore, nothing is something. But I don't see how that can be called a sandwich theory. I was really expecting some sort of deli analogy.
Yeah,
with that.
I was expecting to hear like tuna. Hang on. We'll come back to you, Joshua. Don't worry, you're gonna get plenty of time on this one. I promise you. Yeah, I was expecting to hear like a roast beef, turkey, tuna, lox and bagels with cream cheese, but we didn't hear any of that.
Yeah, so I was a little confused about the title, and then it seems like a semantic, like a child responding to it when the mother says, I can't give you, or there's nothing for you right now, and he says, well, nothing, something, so that means you have to give me something. I don't really see how it's a strong argument. It just seems kind of like a semantic throw-off.
Let's go to Reverend Scott. Reverend Scott, what do you see about the... Oh, wait a minute.
You skipped me. It's okay.
I'm sorry. My PTR changed. You're right. JCC, what do you think about the sandwich argument? I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah, I think the syllogism was malformed, and I think Joshua said he may have said it wrong. I think he's getting at there must be something, because something doesn't come from nothing. And if people are saying nothing is better than God, that's illogical, because there must be something, and if there is something, that something could be better than God. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Now that I understand. Last but not least, Reverend Scott, what do you think about the sandwich argument?
I don't think it's gonna play in Omaha, but there you go.
I'm not gonna eat that sandwich. That's for damn sure.
Okay, Joshua. Now go ahead, Joshua.
Okay, yes. Yeah, everybody is absolutely right. I absolutely said it wrong. My nerves got to me. I spoke too fast.
Hey, buddy, close your eyes. Take a deep breath. We're friends here. We are not going to slam you. We're not going to slam you.
We ain't friends, Steve. But yeah, we're all friends here.
Okay, so you and I don't.
I'm messing with you. We friends.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want, I can mess with you. Trust me. But go ahead.
So I'm so sorry. It's a P1 and P2 is what I'm trying to develop it as. Is the P1 is nothing is better than God. The P2, a sandwich, is better than nothing.
Do you mean premise?
Yes, premise, P1.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, P1 stands for premise, Steve.
That's why I asked that. Yeah, go ahead, Joshua.
Right on. So, yeah, I just meant the P1 is nothing is better than God. The P2, be a sandwich, is better than nothing.
Yep.
And then the conclusion would follow is that a sandwich is God.
Okay. I'm happy to respond to it if you're done. If you're not done, please continue.
Oh, no, that's pretty much it. I would just like it up for review and...
we'll give it to you. Go on mute and we'll come back to you. You're going to have plenty more time.
That's around two.
Go ahead. And by David, I see you. You'll be next in about 5 minutes. So firstly, premise 2, this clearly falls under the category of philosophy. No question about it. Anytime we use P1, P2, you're involving philosophy and you're involving geometry. Some mathematicians would disagree with me, but that's fine. My trial, I'm not saying you are part of this group, sir, but you are raising philosophical idea considering premise. People say hundreds of times, and again, people have heard me times that my trials and tribulation clubhouse philosopher are well
documented well.
The clubhouse philosopher generally get along with me, and I generally get along with clubhouse philosopher. This is not use. This is not.
Well,
I can say something in a fifth grade language. I'm not going to say it at a master's degree. I'm going to say it in a fifth grade language. Simple. You know, I want people to. Why should I talk master's level vocabulary when I can say the exact same thing at a fifth grade level? I'm a simpleton, and more people can understand me. Again, this is nothing against you, sir. Now, what you're saying, yeah, sure. But the question, and I'll throw it out to the Mod Squad, is that premise. How does that help my life? How does that sandwich theory help your life? How does it contribute to making your life? That's what I'm interested in. Or not. The premise or the scenario is true, or I'm more interested in how does it or how can it benefit my life or your life. Let's go to Violet. Violet, what do you think about P1 and P2? Violet. Violet might be busy. She might be feverishly pushing on her phone buttons because she is visually challenged. We'll go to JCC. JCC, what do you think about P1 and P2?
It's a silly syllogism, and I agree. And yes, sounds are better than God. I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Very good. Reverend Scott, what do you think about P1 and P2?
Like I said, it's not going to play Omaha. I don't. It doesn't have a great beat, and I danced it.
There. Okay.
And Steve, you're absolutely right. I couldn't get to my buttons in the right way.
And see, Violet, and everybody knows, okay? Everybody knows that Violet is very important. Push your buttons. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm echoing you guys. A hot pastrami sandwich with Swiss cheese is sounding better to me right now than anything else.
Joshua, we'll give you another minute or two to follow up, and then we'll go to you. What do you think?
I want to address it.
You can when you get your next special. Take a couple of notes, and you can go back and have a fresh five, either at the end of this hour or coming up very soon. Joshua, final thoughts. Joshua, going once.
Yeah, I got you. Man, these rules are crazy. But yeah, I got
No.
you.
Actually, they're very simple.
Very strict, I would say.
They're simple, but they're well enforced. Yes.
Stern, but fair.
Stern, yes, stern and enforced, but they're simple.
Stern, but fair.
Yes. We apply. We do our best to apply them equally to everybody. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I can't lie there. Okay.
No. And the reason is because if we don't, then this show, this thing that we've been doing for 6 years, going on 6 years, just becomes like every other clubhouse room on Clubhouse. You have a tendency to have people speaking over each other. You have a tendency to have people insulting each other, yelling at each other, and then nothing gets done. So yes, we have our handful of rules, but we enforce them very, very strictly. Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
Perfect. Yeah, I try really hard not to be a Darth. So final thoughts.
Yes. Okay, go ahead, sure.
Final thoughts.
I'd like to try and build that argument into a best sandwich, possibly, argument. Like, if there is a best sandwich, then it kind of goes into the idea of disproving the best God, because if an all best God can be imagined, then if we can imagine a best sandwich, then therefore that it goes along down a deep line, I guess. I need more time. I don't have it, but that's it.
Thank you, Joshua. Go on mute, but stay on stage. I want to comment very briefly. It sounds to me like you're not completely convinced about your own argument, premise, or scenario. And maybe you do need more research, or maybe, and again, just maybe, you should consider consider expressing the ideas in a lot more simplistic fashion. There are no philosophers up here to impress. We talk about anything. We never put a restriction on content. We love to get to the coin, regardless of if we agree with you, disagree with you, like you, don't like you. It sounds to me like you are somewhat ambivalent about the validity of what you're talking about, and no disrespect, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. It sounds like you're really unclear.
America, they would be arrested.
Or it seems to me like you are very clear that you're not saying it as well as other people have said it to you. And therefore you have two choices. You can go back to those other people, you could record them, and then you could basically repeat every word that they say, or you can find a simpler way of expressing it.
Uncle
But
Steve,
that choice,
Uncle
yes.
Steve, my teacher Jeffrey Stout of some renown
Yes.
at Princeton University said one time in a seminar, this guy was pretty good, had a pretty strong background in analytic philosophy, and he said one time that when we were 5 years old, and our mother came to us and said, "Your sister said you wrote on the wall with crayons. Is that
Yes.
true?" He said, "You knew exactly what your mother meant, and a century of analytic philosophy has not improved on what you knew when you were 5 years old." So take that to the bank.
yeah, and I'll just add one more thing that I was thinking of before we go to David. When you're 5 years old and you put your hand on a stove and it burns your hand, you don't need a reason why your hand was burned, but you know not to put your hand over the stove again. It's simple. Let's go to David. David, good morning. Welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you here. What would you like to talk about? David going once. David going twice.
Sorry, Steve.
That's okay. No problem, buddy.
I'm looking for buttons. I couldn't find them. No.
That's okay. Sometimes
Anyway.
it's very important to press the right buttons.
Yeah, no, this is I don't usually come in here because a lot of these arguments, you know, they're like dead horses. You know, everybody wants to keep beating the dead horse. You know, but for a lot of folks who are struggling with their faith or truth, or there's a lot of big issues here. I mean, America is we're at a crossroads with this faith thing. You know, what's the way forward? Now, I put forward to the room that I think the answer, Steve, is Buddhism. I think Siddhartha got it right. You know, in the 5th, 4th century BC, when he had to answer questions. And I think it's not so much that it's a belief system with an outcome or a finality. If you don't follow, you don't believe. But it's a tool. It's a tool to help us get from to point B, crossing the river. And if anybody understands Buddhism, knows what I'm talking about, or don't know what I'm talking about, it's very easy to source and illuminate on what that means. But I think that's the problem, is that we're looking for vehicles. We're looking for point A to point B, life experiences that are not fraught with, you know, all the suffering that the Buddha talks about in his writings. But whether or not there's a God or not is irrelevant. I think it's how you passage through life that determines your heaven or your hell, and how we arrive at our end days.
As we sit here today,
And I'll end there.
Buddha doesn't belong in hell, or doesn't believe in hell, does Buddha?
No.
So
But there's-
I was with you the entire time of your take until you brought up hell. Then you lost me. It's like you went into left field.
Where did I lose you?
Because it was when you said, well, it doesn't matter if you believe in God or not. The question is whether or not you are or not going to hell. If you don't believe in God, then there is no hell.
That's not what he said.
That's not what I said.
What did he say?
He said that like how you live determines whether or not you have your personal heaven or hell.
Okay, I will. Romero, go on mute. We'll come to you. We'll come back to you. I'm sorry, I misinterpreted what you said. Can you repeat what you said just to make sure we have it clear? I have it clear.
Yeah, that's basically what I said. I said our heaven is between our ears, and how we pass us through life, and whether or not how we battle the stimuli of life, and how we address and get through.
Now I understand.
Okay.
I apologize.
No worries.
I humbly apologize. I misunderstood you, and I thank you for the correction, Romero, and I apologize for misinterpreting you. Thank you, David. We'll probably get one more in, Carlos, and then Romero will probably be first up in hour number 3. Carlos, good morning. Welcome to the show. What would you like to talk about? Carlos, good morning. Welcome to the show. What would you like to talk about?
Hey, how's it going?
Hi. Do you care?
Yeah, I was going to respond to the syllogism argument, but I can't.
Go ahead. You mean the sandwich argument and the P1, P2?
Yeah, it's a bit confusing. I think I've actually forgotten what I was going to say to be honest.
Sorry about that.
But maybe, yeah, I think is it that God is better than nothing, a sandwich is better than nothing, a sandwich is therefore better than God?
That's pretty much, I think, exactly what was said.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's valid, but...
Well, couldn't you apply that to a car, motorcycle, or spaceship?
Well, it sounded like what he wanted to do is to do some version of the ontological argument, the Anselm's, like...
Definitely philosophy.
Yeah, and I don't think that that's going to get you anywhere, to be honest. But I don't think the ontological argument is that convincing anyway. I don't think it's a good argument.
Well, once again, the question is, how does it make your life better?
The question is, how does it make your life better?
That was my question to him. You can take all of these psychological premises and theories, but my bottom line... Excuse me?
I had a statement to make on that, but...
My bottom line is, how does it make your life better? How does it improve the lives of those around you? That's my bottom line.
It's called psychology, Steve. The higher your IQ, the higher your EQ, and the less time you'll be angry. You'll be happier, Steve. Hello?
Yeah, David can go if he wants to go.
All right, very good. Yeah, Dave, we got 3 minutes. Go ahead.
If I were to take the Buddhist argument with Buddhist...
No. Like a 5th grade student.
Talk to me like I'm a retard. Talk to me like I'm a retard.
If you take the...
Talk to me as if I am retarded.
You're going to sit down and enjoy a sandwich, right?
Yes.
And you got your favorite sandwich of all time. And
P1, P2.
That's happiness, or that's your bliss.
Okay.
If you will. And if you're a child, maybe your 5-year-old child, and your mom brings home your favorite candy, well, in that moment, you've met God, you've met your heaven, you've met your bliss. And as the Buddha would say, all we have is the momentary situations. And so in that respect, if I'm a missionary, and I'm giving out sandwiches to people that are hungry, well, I might look at that sandwich as God, because it's feeding me and I'm not going to starve.
Okay, this is the first thing that I just thought of, and maybe it's completely stupid. What if you're an audience participant at the Oprah Winfrey show and she offers everybody, including you, a car? Does that mean Oprah is God?
It means Oprah brought you to heaven and you're gonna come with Oprah.
I'm sorry, what was the question? What makes your life better?
Firstly,
is Oprah a God?
Go back on mute.
Jeez, okay.
No, well, I tell you what, I can say it completely differently. General, it's the first time we've seen you today. We're almost at the top of the hour. Unfortunately, you interrupted a conversation that I was having with somebody else. And I'm sure you wouldn't want the conversation with you interrupted. So if you could be so kind, just please stay on mute for another few minutes, and then we will get to you. Does that sound better?
I just wanted to know what the question was because it wasn't clear.
Sure, if you go on mute. Oh, well,
Steve. I'll help you more. I'll kick you. Watch this.
Condescension right there, Steve.
Well, I'm a condescending type of guy. I'm a rude son of a bitch. Okay?
Okay.
I occasionally fly off the handle. I occasionally am nasty. I am occasionally hyper sensitive, reactive to people.
And you know what? That makes you human. And
I was just going to
all
say,
of us that.
and it makes me human. And to General, I apologize if I treated you like shit. It's coming down to the end of the hour, and if you would have come in during any other time, and that's not on you, that's on me. I wouldn't have treated you like that, but I feel like I'm up against a wall, not with you, but with the top of the hour break.
The break
yes.
must go on.
The break must go on, and yes, Reverend Scott, I can send that to you directly, no problem. So General, and now I'm going to be serious. I'm sorry. I humbly apologize. That would not have happened if you would have come in like 15 minutes ago. Again, it's not on you, it's not on me. We've got some strict rules here that even I have to follow. Even I can't bend my own rules. So I do apologize. And I think, sincerely, the show would be better if you came on stage again, gave it a second shot, and by the way, I'm taking a break right now, so if you saying like, well, that's Steve Appel, he's an asshole, I don't want to talk to him, you won't have to, because Reverend Scott, Violet, and the rest of the Mod Squad will be, well, actually, it's Reverend Scott, Violet, and JCC will be running the show for the next 30 minutes, so you won't have to speak to me. I do, though, apologize, and I realize if I was in his shoes, I would have considered that Steve Appel a son of a bitch, condescending asshole. Don't go away, and we'll be right back with Reverend Scott, Violet, and JCC.
Why I'm an atheist. You ask me why I'm an atheist, and I must say the question itself contains a rather fascinating assumption that atheism requires explanation, justification, defense, as if the natural state of human consciousness were belief in the supernatural, and those of us who decline this particular invitation need to account for our apostasy. But let me turn that assumption on its head, if I may. The real question, the one that actually demands an answer, is not why I'm an atheist, but why anyone would be anything else. Why, given everything we know about the universe, about human psychology, about the origins of religious belief, about the transparently man-made nature of every holy text ever written, would anyone choose to organize their understanding of reality around the claims of Iron Age mythology? I'm an atheist for the same reason I don't believe in astrology, homeopathy, or the idea that Elvis is still alive and working at a gas station in Memphis. I'm an atheist because I care about what's true. And religious claims about the nature of reality are demonstrably, provably, embarrassingly false. Not metaphorically false, not poetically false, but actually false in the same way that claiming the earth is flat is false. The universe was not created in 6 days by a deity who then needed a rest. Humans did not spring fully formed from the clay. The geological record is not evidence of a global flood. Prayer does not cure disease. The dead do not rise. Virgins do not give birth. These are not matters of interpretation or faith. These are factual claims about the physical world, and they are wrong. But it goes deeper than mere factual error, doesn't it? I'm an atheist because even if I could somehow be convinced that a God exists, and I can't imagine what evidence would suffice, but let's grant it for the sake of argument, I would still refuse to worship such a being. The God described in the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, this is not a being worthy of admiration, let alone worship. This is a celestial dictator, a cosmic Kim Jong-il who demands absolute obedience, who punishes thought crime, who established a system whereby we are created sick and commanded to be well, then held responsible for our inevitable failures and threatened with punishment for finite sins. What kind of moral monster creates beings capable of suffering, designs a world filled with disease and disaster and cruelty, then demands gratitude and praise for the occasional respite from the misery he himself ordained?
This almost feels illegal to know.
Wanna share your point of view, and a little about what's bothering you. Got a question that's on your mind. Be bold, brave, courageous. Come on up and get you fresh fired. What does that mean? Well, listen up. fake and just don't suck. Be respectful, make your point a reasonable way. Come on up. Ask Uncle Steve today.
Okay, and then what is the point you're making? Did the capitalism work in Russia?
The point that I was making was about the different kinds of revolution, if you remember. And somebody seized on some point and decided to try to chew it to death, even though it was not a point that I had made. And that's what we're doing now. We're talking about different kinds of revolution. No, it's fine. Doesn't bother me. We'll find it amusing.
Let's just stay on the topic. Stop being meta. So after they freed the slaves, did Tsar Alexander II not, quote, transition to capitalist economy? Yes or no?
You can answer your own questions. We both know the answer.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Keep going.
Oh, yes. And so capitalism had its own failures in Russia, correct?
Did the capitalism have the failures in America or in the United States?
Feel free to make your points. I've been hanging out with you guys for too many years to play this game.
Okay, so here, you don't have to hang out with us at all.
It's unenlightening.
Fine, you don't need to hang out at all.
There you go.
You don't have to hang out.
A conversation. You can ask me.
Hold on. Because he doesn't want to hang out with us for too long, we don't have to have him suffer. He can have liberation. He can find Canaan himself. That's the promised land. El Normo's Canaan, his promised land, is the hallway. Okay?
So answering that question about capitalism in America, and I would say yes, it has its problems, especially again looking at it from the lens of Black Americans. I would say it has a serious problem.
Yeah, so let's sum up what Ben and we are speaking. So Norm is incorrect that Bolshevik
My friend!
Capitalism, that is historical fact. He said otherwise, just for the people who want.
Good morning, my friend.
And that's the only reason why I came off the mic, because it was just so close.
Shavuot. Well, my last name has the word Tov in it, so I know what Tov means. But Shavuot, my Hebrew and the verb, and I'm not so sure. Maybe like go have a great new week. Have a good week, bro.
That's exactly what it means.
Shavuot. Tov. Kitov. That is good.
Well, I haven't been, maybe you've seen, I still haven't done what you've asked me to do. So, I failed you.
Dude, you're not failing me, bro. You're failing yourself.
I'm failing myself. But I have, I bought that phone to film myself doing baskets, but I also bought a dash cam. Have you seen my driving videos?
I have, yeah.
I think they're good. I mean, I think that, whatever, it's just about driving, but that's adding value to the world in some way.
You see, my friend, I don't know if you know who I am or what it is that I do for a living, but I am a filmmaker, and when I go and I see how many videos I have up on YouTube, it's shocking to have almost 150,000 videos on YouTube, because I go to the biggest accounts. Sometimes they have a lot of videos. Like me, sometimes they have no videos, but yet they still make a hell of a lot of money and got millions of subscribers. So all I'm trying to say is you are not who you think you are. You are a filmmaker in the waiting. And one day soon you will say, that John Kitover was right. I started making my little dash cam videos. Now I started making these other little videos, and holy shit, I'm addicted now to making videos. And you know what? It's the only alternative. There's no other alternative than to be creative and to make videos. It is the way. I mean, who runs Hollywood? Who runs Hollywood? Who runs Hollywood? Who runs the world? Who runs the world?
Exactly.
Well, a lot of people on this app, as you know, are fully R-worded out. Totally R-worded and F-worded out, like Steve Apple. I got a room open right now called the Steve Apple Atheist Show for lonely IQ, lonely bored tards. And you know, if they took their atheist show and they put it on YouTube as opposed to this one platform uh, abyss, they could have a shot at actually.
Why doesn't he like make an actual show and put it like on Spotify or something?
Maybe like YouTube, the biggest platform in the planet. You know, I don't know if you know, YouTube is bigger than television now. And in fact, YouTube is the biggest platform on TV. I know you don't actually look at numbers and metrics, but yesterday or 2 days ago, I saw the metrics. YouTube is the biggest thing on the planet, the biggest thing in terms of total watch, platform, etc.
Post on YouTube.
You know, you should probably use YouTube in the morning instead of hanging out with Serendipity and screaming fat ass Monica. Yeah! That's what Monica does every morning. You know, try to create a video of you doing something, being productive. It's just some advice. If I was like your intern advisor and you were at the YouTube video creative seminar, I'd be like, Zach, we really like you, but you're not creating anything, so we can't really help you. All we can do is just keep encouraging you. Hello? At least you're receptive. I got a lot of friends who just want to call me and talk to me, but never create anything. And then I say, hey, it's great talking to you, but you're not creating anything. But they still want to talk.
Create things. I just know that I could be creating much more. I could be creating all the time.
Well, you're creating right now.
Well, right now I'm burning a pile of wood in my backyard.
I know, but you're on 20 YouTube channels. If you have the Tao Te Ching, you could just read it. If you have anything creative, you could just read it, and then you'd create right there. You'd synthesize immediately.
Well, I do have this. I have an aphorism memorized, and they say, before enlightenment, you should burn a pile of wood in your backyard. And after enlightenment, you should burn a pile of wood in your backyard. That's what they say. The wise masters have said.
I heard it said a little differently, like before enlightenment, the blue mountain was blue, the sky was blue, or, you know, and
chop wood, carry water.
Yeah, and then...
Have you ever heard, I mean, I don't know if you have any curiosity about the things that I have created in the past.
No, that's what you keep bringing up all the time.
I know, you just want to hear the things that I've created.
No, because I want you to text me a link on YouTube, text me a YouTube video and say, hey, John, I just created this basket video. It's of slow motion, or it's of a time delay, and it's very artistic, and I think it's great. Would you put it on your 300 different accounts to help me, you know, juice it? I'd say, sure, bro.
Right.
Bro, you sent me something creative, dog. You did it. You did it. Wow. Encore! Encore! Encore!
A lot of wood here. A lot of little pieces of wood.
You know what you call a bundle of sticks? Can't say it, though. It would be abusive hate speech. Also stalking. I've been accused now by YouTube of stalking. That was a new terms of service violation. I had never knew it was. I don't know. Nothing. They never tell you specifically what's so hateful about your speech and so abusive about it. They never say specifically. They just, we've isolated a part that we think, in our opinion, is hate, but it's actually just accurate ad hominem. You can't talk about, really, the LGBTQ trans is the most, and black, obviously. So we get back to N-word, F-word being two protected classes in clown world.
Watermelon rainbow.
Watermelon rainbow. Watermelon rainbow.
Yeah, watermelon rainbows. All right, well, I'm just going to burn this big pile of wood, I think, and that's what I'm going to do. I hope I don't get in trouble with the city for burning wood in my backyard. Do you think I'm going to get in trouble?
Mm.
The cop is going to come and say, you can't burn wood in your backyard.
You're sounding to me like a man on a mission.
Well, it's time for me to burn this wood in my backyard.
Repeat after me. This is what I was put on this earth to do.
This is what I was put on this earth to do.
If I walk in the thick of danger,
If I walk in the thick of danger,
you will preserve my life
you will preserve my life
from the anger of my enemies.
from the anger of my enemies.
You will extend your hand.
You will extend your hand.
Your right hand will save me.
Your right hand will save me.
Do not abandon the work of your hands.
Do not abandon the work of your hands.
Psalm 130.
Psalm 1.
You might create a video. You may it and, putting that little thing because it deals with the hands. And I know sometimes a lot of your customers, their hands are so weak, they can't interweave these difficult, thick sticks. You could call F words. But, you see, it's in the Bible, you become irresistible.
That's true. Anyway, I'm just standing up this wood pile, watching it burn. Burning the wood.
I got this really good book. It's called Bible Promises for Men That Burn Piles of Sticks. There's a chapter here on dealing with stress. Would you like to repeat after me? God is our refuge and strength.
God is our refuge and strength.
A helper who is always found in times of trouble.
A helper who is always found in times of trouble.
Therefore we will not be afraid.
Therefore we will not be afraid.
Though the earth trembles.
Though the earth trembles.
And the mountains topple.
And the mountains topple.
Into the depths of the seas.
Into the seas.
Though its waters roar and foam.
Though its waters roar and foam.
And the mountains quake with its turmoil.
The mountains quake with its turmoil.
Psalm 46.
Psalm 46. That's good. That's a good one.
Trouble and distress terrify him.
Trouble and distress terrify him.
Overwhelming him like a king prepared for battle.
Overwhelming him like a king prepared for battle.
Job 15.
Job 15.
Show us favor, Lord, show us favor.
Show us favor, Lord, show us favor.
For we've had more than enough contempt.
For we've had more than enough contempt.
Psalm 123.
Psalm 123.
God,
hear
my cry.
Hear my cry.
Pay attention to my prayer.
Pay attention to my prayer.
I call to you from the ends of the earth.
I call to you from the ends of the earth.
When my heart is without strength.
When my heart is without strength.
Lead me to a rock that is high.
Lead me high above me.
For you have been a refuge for me.
For you have been a refuge for me.
A strong tower in the face of the enemy.
A strong tower in the face of the enemy.
I will live in your tent forever.
I will live in your tent forever.
And take refuge under the shelter of your wings.
And take refuge under the shelter of your wings.
Then I will continually sing of your name.
I will continually sing of your name.
Fulfilling my vows day by day.
Fulfilling my vows day by day.
Psalm 61.
Psalm 61.
This is the day the Lord has made.
This is the day the Lord has made.
Let us rejoice and be glad in it.
Let us rejoice and be glad in it.
Lord, save us.
Save us.
Lord, please grant us success.
Psalm 755.
Psalm 118.
Psalm 188.
How many
psalms are there?
Hundreds. I exclaimed, "This is my intense suffering, but I must bear it."
I exclaim, "This is my intent, suffering. I must bear it."
Jeremiah 10.
Jeremiah 10. I have to go.
Hello?
Rabbona Shalom. Hello?
Shavua Tov, my friend. Shavua Tov. Hello? Hello?
The gloves coming off. This is where we're at today, Scott. I think at the end of the day, they don't want to lose that relationship with Trump. Trump doesn't want to lose the world economy, the American economy. He doesn't want to lose the votes in November, our midterms. And we're seeing him hold up a very powerful bill, affordable housing bill, bipartisan, in order to get this new voting deal that he wants to erect on behalf of the American people, which is not very popular. So, yeah, a bit of an antichrist with some things democratic, and a lot of things geopolitically, and I'll land there. Thanks.
Thank you so much. And David, what better person to weigh in on theological matters than someone who is a relative of Justo Gonzalez, great church historian, who I read in seminary. Andrew Teddy, our friend to the north, always giving a Canadian perspective. Andrew, would you like a fresh five to talk about Tucker Carlson, Donald Trump, the Antichrist, or anything else, Canadian football, whatever you'd like to talk about?
Well, I'm not going to throw Canadian football in there, Mike. Good afternoon. Because my team lost this weekend, so I'm a little bit. However, this morning I've been reading articles out of the Atlantic, very thought-provoking. One of them was called about a book called Two Ships, I think it's called, talking about the formation of the United States. One ship, Mayflower, which landed in Plymouth, and the other that is referenced is, I think it's called the Lost Lion, which was a slave ship, which I believe landed in Jamestown or somewhere in the South Virginia area. And it really highlighted the dichotomy that the United States has always had between the North and the South, and just where those roots come from historically. The Mayflower, I believe, left the Netherlands initially. At least that's what I understood from the article. But anyway, it's a very interesting article. The Atlantic was full of them this morning. The other one that was very interesting was on Mel Brooks, who celebrated his 100th birthday yesterday. Very, very funny individual, probably at the pinnacle of funniness. And it just spoke about his relationship with Gödel, a book that was unfinished by the author. So very interesting. The Atlantic is full of interesting articles of that nature.
But the one that I found this morning that I did post here that I think might be of interest to most Americans or some Americans, I don't know, depends how involved or active you are, but it's from The Guardian, and it's talking about the move in Minnesota based on their past experience with the surge in this past winter of ICE agents, etc., in the cities, and their movement towards how to protect your upcoming midterms from the attack that these elections are experiencing from Donald Trump and his allies. So I just posted that for anybody in the room who is interested in some artillery to push back on the election denialism. Only elections that Donald Trump wins are good ones, and those that he loses are bad ones. And I think it's good reading and some good information. You can contact some people in these organizations that are truly have experienced what it's like to face the anti-democratic, fascistic tendencies of Donald Trump recently. And yeah, I think it's a good read, and there should be something there for people to take home to their own areas and maybe set up similar programs to educate your population, your fellow neighbors, on just what is happening and how to circumvent those efforts as best as possible. So I'll land it there, and everybody have a great day.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Always great to hear your comments and give us a little Canadian perspective. Let's go to somebody out on the southwest portion of the United States.
Hey,
Dr.
Scott.
Francine. Yes.
Elijah's been on stage for quite a while and hasn't gotten his fresh five yet.
You know what? We'll go to Elijah right after Dr. Francine. We'll go Dr. Francine, then Elijah. Dr. Francine, coming to us from the Grand Canyon State. Would you like a fresh five to tell us what you're thinking about?
Yeah, I've been thinking. Wow, I've been thinking so much. This morning I drove out to the place in Arizona where they're building the new TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Company plant. And it's huge. I mean, it's unbelievably huge, and it's huger, if there is such a word, as a construction site, because there are now 3,500 people there, and there are going to be 6,000, but there are also 12,000 construction workers building it, because when you build a factory that big, you also build houses. You're almost inadvertently building a factory town. So there's like people building houses and people building, supermarkets and all kinds of stuff. And so I'm thinking how badly we are going to need immigrants, and how, the same people who are saying, oh, AI and, semiconductors and get everything in the United States because we don't want China to blah, blah, blah. It's so inconsistent, because how can you have all that without immigrants? I guess that's enough for me.
Thank you. Great questions, Dr. Francine. Let's go over to Elijah before we hand it back over to Uncle Steve. Elijah George, how are you? Welcome to the stage, and would you like a fresh five to tell us what's on your mind this morning? Elijah going once, Elijah going twice. I'm not seeing him coming on, so I'm going to go back to my Uncle Steve. Uncle Steve, I'm handing the reins back to you, sir.
Thank you. And I do see Moose on stage. Has Moose spoken yet?
Moose has not spoken yet. You could go to Moose.
Then we will go to Moose, and then we'll try Elijah again. Moose, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Welcome. What would you like to talk about?
He left the stage.
He left the stage. Okay.
Little stage fright, maybe. Little stage fright, quite literally.
Maybe it's Uncle Steve fright. Who knows? Has any non-mod squad, non-green bean, not had a chance to speak on the stage? Apparently, everybody has. Okay. If you're in the audience and you want to come up, please do, because it's going to be very difficult, if not impossible, as it gets to the top of the hour. I guarantee, though, everybody on stage will get a chance to speak. Being said, that have not had a chance to speak. Alfonso, good morning. Thank you for doing the heavy lifting. Would you like a fresh five, Alfonso?
Good morning. Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm quite busy today, but happy to be here as always.
Very good. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Let's go to Yakov. Yakov, good morning. Thank you for doing the heavy lifting. Like a fresh five.
I have to say, I don't know if anyone else has observed this, but I like watching videos of foreigners discovering America for themselves and bypassing media descriptions of our country and enjoying the people and the friendliness of Americans. And unlimited refills apparently is a big deal, and apparently ranch dressing is probably going to hit whoever owns ranch dressing, invest in that stock. That's going to be big in Europe. I think people touring Buc-ee's and air-conditioned stadiums, and it's kind of nice. Maybe we should have this more often. I think I'm not a real FIFA soccer fan, but I've been enjoying it tremendously. I don't know what others think, but good morning, everybody.
Good morning. And next in my queue, or actually in my queue, I show Alvin, David, El Normo, Andrew, Dr. Francine, Joshua, and Elijah. And so since none of them have spoken yet, is that correct, Reverend Scott?
Well, Elijah's the only one who hasn't.
Right, thank you. Let's try Elijah. Let's try Elijah again. Elijah, good morning. Welcome to the show. Would you like a fresh five? Elijah going once, Elijah going twice. Okay, well, let's go to then Alvin. Alvin, good morning. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
That's an Alvin and Chipmunk, Steve. You never heard that before?
Yes, I have. Sorry, it just caught me off guard, that's all. Yeah.
That's what I do to catch people off guard.
I love that. That's why you're the grill master. Alvin.
Yeah, couple of things. Y'all call Scott Reverend Scott, but I'm the only one that knows his true religion, but we're not going to talk about that right now.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you're my old friend. My old friend, Alvin. My man.
He is a reverend of you think it's something mainstream. It's a very niche religion, but we can't discuss that right now.
But we can discuss that it is a fact. He is not an atheist. We can discuss it is a fact that he is a licensed or reverend preacher, man of the pulpit, correct?
But you don't know which pulpit, Scott.
I understand that, but
the different pulpit.
The pulpit. I understand that.
Actually, it is a pit. It can't be described as a. I digress. Now.
Yes, sir.
One thing that I'm not a fan of Tucker Carl. Rather,
you're in the Matrix, sir.
Oh, I'm still in the Matrix now?
Well, try. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm not a fan of Tucker Carlson. However, I will defend. I don't think he's a Jew hater, right? Because it's like I can criticize Kim Jong-un and the North Korean government, and nobody will accuse me of hating North Koreans, right? I can talk about how horrible the Iranian regime is.
You're apparently in the Matrix again. Okay, Alvin, if you can hear me, go on mute. Alvin, if you can hear me, go on mute. We will come back to you. You are in the mix again. Let's try David.
I just want to say one thing, Uncle Steve.
Yes.
Tucker Carlson's comments around Jews, Judaism, Israel, they don't just stop at the state of Israel. He has made comments on the relationship of the church to Judaism and Israel that are supersessionist, that basically replacement theology. I mean, these are not just political comments. I mean, they're beyond critiques of Netanyahu and the state of Israel. I mean, he's made some pretty serious theological critiques of Judaism, which a lot of Christians post World War II, post Holocaust would note as problematic. Me included.
Well, my problem with Tucker Carlson is that for many years he was like one of the biggest Trump supporters and Trump cheerleaders, and then all of a sudden he got fired off of Fox. Now he's anti-Trump, which is fine, but he never explained why. Now maybe I missed it, but did he ever say what took place during that transitional period, which turned him from like Trump's #1 supporter into no longer supporting him?
There's a long piece in the New Republic that appeared a couple years ago called "The Fall Populism of Tucker Carlson," which traces exactly this, Uncle Steve. It traces his move from the ultimate Beltway insider, where he never missed a sort of DC cocktail party with his bow ties, to him sort of nipping at the heels of the establishment, becoming the populist gadfly.
Do they quote him talking about why he transitioned?
And look, he offers.
Yes.
He doesn't offer. I mean, he will say things about Trump and populism, and I mean, it's not as though he's never addressed this stuff, right? But many people find his transitions quite convenient, and point to him, not unfairly, I think, as a pretty opportunistic guy. And again, he has 20 million followers. If this is aggregate, though, if you add up what I was looking up, if you add up like YouTube to X to this, that, his audience approximates Spotify and whatnot. His audience seems to be approximately 20 million folks, which is this is.
But that doesn't mean he has 20 million downloads for each one of his YouTube.
It does not. This is an estimate. This is an aggregate thing. But even if it's half that, right? I mean, this is 3 or 4 times.
Well, all you got to do is pop onto one of his YouTubes like a week or two ago and see how many people viewed it.
Right. I mean, he's definitely got a bigger following than
I believe.
Or Fox Cable.
I believe has 20,000 followers, 20,000 subscribers. But the
20 million.
I'm sorry, 20 million. But the question is, how many people watch each of his YouTubes? And all you have to do is go onto the YouTube and it'll show you, right?
Right. But certainly more on average than, say, the evening news. I mean, the guy is running a media empire out of his house, basically, which is remarkable. What you can do these days.
It's very remarkable what you can do these days.
Am I still in the Matrix?
No, you're not, but we're going to come back to you, sir. We're going to come back to you, sir. I want to go to Leroy, who's new on stage. Leroy, good morning. Welcome to the show. What would you like to talk about?
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Leroy.
It's been a minute.
I know.
I know, right? Good to hear your voice again. You sound great as always.
It's good to hear you too, and the show is better with you than without you.
Appreciate that. So here's what I was thinking. So Steve, I've been navigating my entire life literally of being a self-governed person, right? Sort of a visual. How I got there is by being a visual learner, right? I've observed how people behave. And somehow I connected to the behavior of good morals, treating people nice, having fun, making people laugh, just enjoying love and receiving love and giving love. And so all my life I've been able to have a great, not only high moral standard, but I'm really helpful and just all around good guy when it comes to people. I have great relationships. But I find that, and talking about being self-governed around people who are religious, they come across as insecure about me making that claim I just made just now. It just feels like they think that if I somehow promote self-governance as a beautiful thing, somehow it's a threat to religion. I don't know if you've ever experienced anything like that, but I wonder how many people in the world are in America, pretty much, who are self-governed, not by religion, or somewhat, maybe a little bit, maybe the foundation of religion, and maybe culture. But for the most part, they don't say anything about it, fear of making other people feel insecure, right? Not because they question it, because they don't want to be ostracized. They don't want to be called something that they're not. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean. I'm going to respond. I've been working, in other words, providing services for other people and getting paid for over 50 years. That's right. I started working when I was 14 or 15 years old at a shop, literally for $1 an hour. I've worked at bagel shops. I've worked collection companies. I have for 5 years, and most recently, I'm working for a statewide law firm in my career, which I've been doing for over 30 years of workers' compensation, employment, and labor law. I bring this up because I have dealt with over, in excess of 10,000 workers' compensation, employment, and labor law cases. I have contributed to the tune of 10, if not hundreds of millions of dollars to help injured workers receive money and doctors to receive money for work-related injuries. I have no debt. I have a 401k. I have money in the bank. And I have a home which I've been regularly paying a mortgage for close to 25 years now. I've also helped my 2 children not only go through school, but I contributed to my son getting a law degree and becoming a lawyer. I contributed to my daughter getting a master's degree and becoming a social, getting a master's degree in social services. Why do I bring up all these achievements? Because occasionally when I go into rooms and I tell people I'm an atheist, the first thing out of the is, you're fallacious, you're not logical, you're stupid, you don't understand. Now the response out of my mouth from that is, well, all those claims that you just made against me for knowing me for 5 or 10 minutes, are you saying that I'm fallacious, stupid, not logical, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about after knowing you for 5 minutes, only about God? Or is it about my entire life? And then a lot of the times, well, it's only about God. And then sometimes, well, I don't know about the rest of your life. And I said, yeah, that's right. I've been trained. I'll land in 60 seconds. I've been trained in my 30-year plus career to think logically. And you have the chutzpah, you have the balls, you have the predisposition to accuse me of not being logical on this one issue, and you've only known me for 5 minutes? Who is really the one that's
right believes what they believe is common sense? So that's the thing. So I think that we can universally agree, though, that we want, I don't know, probably the temperature to turn down most people. But how do you achieve that? You understand? Like, I think at the end of the day, people crave realism, and they crave someone who is relatable. You know, here's the thing. At the end of the day, Trump, I love the guy, great guy, but he's not a blue-collar man. There's no way for him to ever experience the ability to be a blue-collar man. That's something that I crave. But here's the problem. Every time we get a blue-collar man who has experienced the blue-collar life, he goes to Washington and gets wined and dined and turned into a fucking swamp creature because money is power. money is influence. And Trump's, you can't buy that motherfucker. You can't influence that motherfucker.
You say that's the case with John Fetterman.
John Fetterman, I don't know. He's a hard, pill to crack. I think, the brain injury is actually helping him see a little bit of sense, which is crazy. Because when you're infected by the, I'm serious, when you're infected by the leftist mind virus, it's hard to see clearly. But him bonking his fucking head has somehow got him to see a little bit of common sense, which is scary.
I think he's Joe Manchin reincarnated on there.
Yeah,
that's what I think, that he's a part of the party, but he's not with the extremism, and he brings common sense, and they don't want him forward.
Some common sense left. Yeah, they definitely want to push him out. They want compliance, that's for damn sure. Whatever they want him to toe the fucking line and throw away his values so they can advance the cause, right? But he's not willing to do that, that's odd for someone on the right. They know
that's the very definition of woke. The very definition of woke is cult.
And so I will hand the right to is that we've gotten invited because we have values, and we're willing to stand on values. It sucks because we'll almost break up our own movement because one value that you stand for is broken or seemingly, gone out the window, and you're willing to fucking throw the whole thing out, and I don't know if that's good or bad. I think it is good to a sense, but it also bad. It can be short-sighted because we have the alternative, but, you got to stick to your values. You got to stick to what's important to you. And so,
that's trying to into out the rest.
Yeah, well, because
the Democrat Party.
That was that.
That happens happens internal civil war. They fight each other and they kill each other. And that's the actions. The party that's flying control. The progressives, the moderates, the communists, and the left.
Yeah, right. I don't want to say we have three. We have the people that. That is I'm disappointed. What sucks about? I kind of sense I'm afraid of it. He fucked.
In Russia.
Yeah. You better stand by your fucking guns, bro. You're gonna go and nest him twice. Like everybody else.
You understood Miriam Adelson and her donations to Donald Trump meant. You knew what that meant. And you voted for him, right? Matter of fact, you even taught Miriam Adelson and her donation to Donald Trump and what that meant for Israel. So don't sit here and say that you're now anti-Republican because you're anti-Israel. Really laughed about, and they brought up, you and your brother laughed when your brother brought up the Muriel Adelson.
Let me make a point about Israel, if I may.
Start over again?
I said I want to make a point about Israel and Trump and America. The point is, was breaking down the division within the right or the left base. Just take a sec. If you believe in sabotage and espionage and foreign influence and how AIPAC controls Congress, and you're of this belief that this is a fact and you're have to, in my opinion, in the past 26 years, the entire American attention focus has been subverted. It has been espionage, and we have completely terraformed the Middle East by invading Iraq, by invading Afghanistan, because we went into what, 6 countries, and the Arab Spring Revolution. The point is Sheldon Adelson and all his money from the money actually terraformed the Middle East, and it's not just the Jews though; it's the Saudis, it's the entire monarchy of the Middle East fighting this Shia Islam threat, which has no monarchy. It is a theocratic state, a unit of religion. And so it is really like tribalism or gang warfare. And America, unfortunately, has plunged itself into public debt. But now we've created hundreds of trillions of dollars of money out there. And anyways, my whole point is you can't deny the success of Israel's espionage program and intelligence services in terms of influence and regime change. It is probably the most successful country operator at that type of level. My final point that I just want to emphasize to everybody in this room is that America has been operating in a way of a video, a first-person shooter, and everybody's lives, your whole experience from your birth to your death, is really much. It's very much like the wrong movement here. You don't get a third life, a second life. Like, this is it. You get one shot at this video game. And there's movies, that Tom Cruise movie where he makes the mistake, he fixes the mistake, finally he, is able to pass through. I'm just saying that the fact that we're 200 trillion in debt, 40 trillion funded, 200 unfunded, every state has hundreds of billions in debt. The point is that it makes it seem almost as if this is some type of a game simulator or some type of Matrix-esque type simulation. Like, if simulation theory can be proven, it can be proven in the ledger, meaning that we are lucky we were able to create 200 trillion in unfunded debt, 40 trillion in funded debt, and states were able to borrow like this, because the world is one huge network and we are borrowing off of it. And China's doing the same thing, and India's doing the same thing, but at a much lower level. And it's truly because of our victory in 1945, where we conquered the earth and became the supreme dollar monopolist on the planet. It is blessing, but the truth is, if we didn't do any of this, the past 26 years wouldn't have been possible. And then before that, the 50 years before that wouldn't have been possible. It is immoral and it is unethical, and we should pronounce judgment on the immoral currency system we have and what we're doing. We shouldn't spend more than what we take in revenue. Businesses don't do that, households don't do that, but our Congress people do that. They are immoral, they are corrupt, and you have to pronounce judgment, moral judgment. Hello?
I mean, our system's kind of fucked. But, our system's kind of fucked, but what do you do, man? John, that was a long one, bro. And good, insightful. I don't even know how to say over that, bro.
Well, I just think you see, today's Pride Fest, and there's lots of people out there looking for dignity, looking for honor. But the truth is, putting rainbow flags and marching in a parade and saying, "Give us our dignity, give us our," that's not where dignity comes from. Ethics and morals have to be studied. They have to be experienced. And I know a girl that went to the Pride Fest and they towed her car. They destroyed her day. They could have plunged her into bankruptcy. Yeah. $300, 4 hours to go look at it. So all I'm saying is, all communication is political. All communication is hypnosis. all communication is spam, and it's first-person shooter game to determine what type of communication you want to take in and what kind of communication you want to push out.
Yeah, we're definitely in a simulation by the Lord. The Lord, has made this simulation for us to experience, and that's definitely happening, And what's cool about it is like, say you're playing Sim Earth or something like that, or Sims. You want to go and experience, that Sim, so you go down and play that character. Jesus did that, bro. Played as a human, wanted to experience that suffering, died for our sins. It's pretty cool, though. I mean, but yeah, we're definitely in a simulation. Made by God. Two people to stop being atheists with simulation theory. Last year, he didn't believe in God at all. For years, bro, he's laughing at and stuff and actually talking to him, because he likes video games. I'm like, bro, think of it as a video game. 200 years ago, some guy would have came to you and said, hey, bro, we're living in a simulation. God, what the fuck do you talk about? With the power of video, you can kind of understand that we in a simulation, man. And
well,
this, he's not an atheist.
Well, the founders, Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin and Adams and Washington, they in their intuition must have told them, oh my God, like this could completely be destroyed and ruined by a superior force coming in and shutting it down. Because it's not just the military, it's the whole communication. The spam changes. And if the socialist communists take over in this country, and Mamdani is running the largest apartment group, on the planet, determining the rent, and he can't be sued because Democrat judges are on his side. There are alternatives for future America. America could be splintered. There could become an alternative currency, an alternative legal framework, an alternative political network. America is not static, it's dynamic. And if you study economics, laissez-faire capitalism, according to Ayn Rand, is always the future economy. And this is what the communist socialists, why they're so disingenuous and hypocrites, is they never talk about the Federal Reserve because they want to keep it. They want piggy bank, and they want to use that power of inflation to carry out their ideological agenda. Their ideological agenda of altruism is suicidal. It is anti-America first. It's anti-nationhood, and it's all queer ideology at the end of the day. And they're not based in history or reality or law. And when you get to the law, that's the big distinguishing part that they never talk about in the propaganda, is that they are not lawists or jurists or legalists. They want to transcend the law, but that's where their plan will never work, because we all know that lawyers, at the end of the day, either hit two buttons, yes or no. It either proceeds or it does not proceed. And in some ways, lawyers are the worst thing in society, but because they're so slow and because they can be manipulated and it's all about money, and all I'm saying is the Congress will never succeed in America because of our American philosophy. American philosophy.
Heard of digital communism?
I mean, I can see how you could see a lot of Bitcoin utopists are actually just digital communists, digital capitalists.
Chew on this for a second there, John. If we allow AI companies...
Wait, did somebody say retard production say...
They're going to replace all these people's jobs. They're going to force to make a universal basic income system. Well, for basic income, yeah, possibly, but listen to me here. So we have to think about this. A universal basic income, for it to survive, taxes have to be paid, right? I mean, taxpayers have to support it. But as more and more people are replaced by AI, it's going to be products. You know what I mean? Like the taxpayers to support universal basic income. So what's going to have to happen is they're going to task companies or corporations with paying this heavy tax burden to support universal basic income. So then you're going to have like 4 or 3 or 1 company asked the government or hired by the government to make all these products for the people in exchange for them paying the heavy tax burden required to support universal basic income. So then you have about 4 or 5 companies making everything for everybody around the world. You're not going to get everything. You're going to get less and less. It's got to be approved by the government. It's got to be made by this corporation. And that's kind of your digital or your communism that we're going to be getting there. Because it's going to be corporations making, a few corporations making everything for everybody.
Well, see, this is where law comes back into play, where in Chicago, in Evanston, Illinois, they did the cannabis reparations tax, where they paid out 50,000 to 300 supposedly descendants of African slaves or had some type of property rights slight. And it was deemed unconstitutional and illegal. And so if you try to put a tax on Google to fund the minimum basic income, that will be determined illegal. So well, that's what I'm saying. The utopian, socialist, liberal, progressive, pluralist economic lies. You have to look at the statistics. What is best for social abundance? Laissez-faire capitalism or hardcore socialist, communist wealth redistribution through taxation? Because the whole scam rests on taxation and theft. Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, is stealing from the pensions billions of dollars, stealing it, but calling it an investment. It's all in the language and in the way that it's obfuscated and termed and presented. That's why I say all communication is political, and it's spam and it's hypnosis. And if you say he's lying and using words that don't mean what they mean, you're accused of being racist or a homophobe or a transphobe. It doesn't matter. The point is you always have to just remember that you have 2.5 billion seconds in this game called life to exist. Look it up. 60 seconds times 60 minutes times 24 hours times 75 years. It's 2.5 billion seconds. What you listen to is probably more important than what you say in your life. That's one of my observations. And so I'm just saying, try to play the game with knowledge and wisdom and get some books. Look at my name, book. If you're just using this app and you're not surrounded by books and you're not occasionally reading something, it's like if you just look at Psalms in the Bible, that's enough wisdom to know that almost everybody on this app is spamming you. Guys like Steve Appel in these atheist rooms and these never-ending Christian debate bro rooms, they're spamming you. You need to pick up a book and get out of their communication network of spam. It's political. And it's all hypnosis. You're wasting your time even listening to me now that I've given you my knowledge. I rest my case. I hope you all have a prideful day. But remember, what is the opposite of pride? Disgrace. And most of these pride people are just disgraceful people putting on a spam show for children because they are disgraceful. They have no virtue. They have no ethics, no morals. They pronounce no moral judgment. They know nothing about the economy, know nothing about vaccines and war and spam and hypnosis. But you do, my clown house friends. You do.
Yesterday, Bibi said that she lost her virginity to a rabbi, and I was about to say before I got kicked out, well, so did Pepe. Anyway, sorry.
Well, Pepe.
What a coincidence, Bibi. So did Pepe.
Pepe was abused by a priest, not a rabbi. Let's get the facts straight.
Oh, okay. One of those.
And we know where Pepe comes from, which is the hardcore racist, right-wing, extreme Discord ghetto trenches, where he figured out how to say that. If you can't say that in 2026 and you say that or dis with every single thing that you say, you need to read a book. I'm telling you, books are not ancient technology. They are modern discoveries waiting to be integrated into your comprehension, into your central nervous system, into your memory. You've got greatest computer system the planet's ever created. You are 65 billion years of human evolution, but you fail to pick up a book and read it because this app is so fucking dopamine creating. There's no better experience than listening to a guy talk about books, but not even read a book. Think about that.
Oh, Lord.
Lordy, lordy.
Lordy.
You know, you could go on eBay right now. I don't want to tell you to do it.
I don't need no books, John.
No, you don't have to read a book. You could get what's called the Great Courses. They're on DVDs. They got math, they have science, they have history, they have religion. Just get the Great Course on DVD and put those in your DVD player, and you will be amazed at the content. And when you compare that content to this content, you will naturally say that this app and the people that talk on it are just spamming you. Like, go listen to Ban and First Lady's Politically Correct. They are spamming you. It's just spam.
I don't listen to those people. Don't listen to that, John.
I do sometimes just to throw shit in their face.
Yeah, I get on here, have some conversation, then I jump out. I'm on here less and less, though I'm still addicted. You know, trying to have regular conversation.
No.
Then I run into homosexuals like Pepe and move me down. And that's just like, wow, I'm like, why I hate this fucking app sometimes. And that's like, I'm like, you fucking son of a bitch.
Well, the crime statistics are shocking because, you know, that's the reality you're facing in this first-person shooter game. In Chicago on the trains, they did a study. They found 9 out of 10 people that come from the South Side don't pay for train fare. They just skip the fare, go underneath the wheel. And 9 out of 10, they recovered over 40 guns. So these aren't trains to get to work. These are death and theft trains.
Like, wow, that is not a train for me. I'm a white guy.
These are theft and death trains. And the police are finally enforcing it after 20 years because guess what? Trump's going to cut their funding. Daddy Trump. Daddy's home. Daddy's home. Johnny Trump is home.
I went to Itasca, Illinois, dude, a couple of years ago for training, and went to Chicago finally after the training. And my mom and I looked at that fucking train. There ain't no way I'm getting near that fucking thing. You know what I mean? You can look at it.
Death and
like,
theft
yeah,
trains.
I'm not getting on that thing. If I don't want to get stabbed to death, you know.
Lit on fire. You know, young girl sitting on a train gets lit on fire by a guy that's been arrested 75 times. 75 arrests, gets on a train and lights a 16-year-old blonde girl on fire.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What the fuck was she doing on that thing?
She was just going to her next stop to go have a cup of coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah, going to get fucking dick down by some black guy.
She's probably going to the Pride Fest before she got lit on fire by a 75-time recidivist. The point is,
I'm sorry, man. A lot of people don't like us. I know that. I stay the fuck away from them.
Well, I'm just saying, if we can invade 7 countries, spend $10 trillion, kill 20,000 of our own soldiers to liberate the Middle East for Israel, well, the least we can do is use our own military to liberate our cities from the criminals that are murdering our population and provide security to our population. If we don't do the most basic first-person shooter strategy game skills in our own country, we will have a for long. It is falling apart. Because in Chicago, when you have 60,000 gang members, every single weekend, 15 gang members get assassinated in the streets. Now, I don't care about that population that dies. Let them kill themselves. But innocent victims of their terrorism. And let's just call it for victims of their terrorism. And let's just call it for what it is. Terrorism. American terrorism all major sanctuary cities. And we need to use our military in the same way that we use it internationally. Take the pussy comitatus bullshit. It doesn't matter. What Donald Trump says is what the will of the American people is and what we can do. We need to use the U.S. military to evict the domestic and internet terrorists killing our population, all our major cities. And if he doesn't do it soon, he's going to lose his window of opportunity. The Overton window will close, and we will not MAGA, and we will not liberate, because the liberation narration, liberation theology is always the most successful philosophy ever created. And Donald Trump truly needs to liberate America, put his army helmet on, go into the bunker, and say, this is America 2.0. Sanctuary cities are terminated. It's over. I'm sending in the U.S. military into every major sanctuary city in America. All illegal alien residents will be arrested by the U.S. military and brought to a processing facility at the Alamo. And they're all leaving. That's the rest of his presidency. That should be the whole focus, is securing America for Americans, using the American military power to do it. And Trump, if he doesn't do this, he will lose the government, and it will fall into the hands of the communists, the socialists, the Mamdanis, the AOCs. We cannot allow these people to take over the country and the military. We have to use the military to end sanctuary status. And if we end the sanctuary cities, we eliminate 80% of the election fraud. Americans aren't voting for suicide and altruism. They're voting for liberty and capitalism. I am complete. This is book. Pick up a book and read it today and go to the gym. Hello.
That depends on the outfit of the book. For example, any person can go and write something.
It depends on what?
Outfit. Writer. Outfit. AUTHR.
I think Americans are ready to kick the door in.
All of the military power to go and arrest the immigrants.
That's what it takes. Yeah.
That is in the book. I want to see the writer of this book. The outside.
We're onto the bullshit. It's simple. Very simple.
And don't write books blindly.
Yo, what up? Can't hear anybody. You guys there?
Yeah,
Puff, what up, bro? Can't believe you moved me down yesterday, bro. Can't believe it. Hey, whatever.
You gotta give them suck muscles a break once in a while.
Yeah, whatever, bro.
You're like a steam locomotive, man. Once you get going,
yeah.
Stop you, bro. Gotta know what the brakes, man.
I know, bro. You were the one talking for a long fucking time.
I barely got in, maybe time.
I was trying to finally respond. We'll see. I was trying to respond, bro, because you were moving to like 4 different topics and expecting me to respond to that because you were asking, why do I like Trump?
All I was doing was just pointing out the things that I asked you a question, you responded, and then I began to speak. And you thought that you had been placed on some kind of standby to listen for the purpose of responding only. That was what was happening there.
No, I listened. That's how I was trying to write. I was listening to everything you were saying. I listened to everything you were saying. Wanting me, hold on. Get the comment. What? Just a bunch of counter arguments. I was, yeah.
I would have been speaking because you wanted to finish respond, and I get it. I get it.
Well, after 5 minutes, it's hard for me to track what you're saying, bro. If you want me to respond to that, you got to mute up finally.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna give you a very, very small cue. The way you track what people are saying is by attention. And you can only do that by staying quiet and listening with the intent of not wanting to respond, but actually listen to what they have to say. So you can understand where they're coming from. And then, as you're going...
Was that how you have a conversation?
You'll be able to respond back. Once you get the opportunity to do so.
No. Well, I mean, I get it, but here's the thing is, say I'm trying to get you to respond to a question. I'm not going to load that fucking question and make it a 10-minute fucking spiel with 4 or 5 different topics. And it took every fucking... You were trying to load that.
That's... Once again, the intent of responding. When you spoke, I was listening with the intent of paying attention, which is the reason.
Me too, that's what I was doing.
Did you know? You're doing it right now. Every time I go talk, jump in. I don't do that too.
Well, imagine having a conversation, but not actually having a conversation about any topic, but just talking former conversations and then criticizing the way that people have conversations right now. And then a guy jumps and starts criticizing the conversation about a conversation. Then he gets kicked to the goo because he won't stop talking about a conversation. Guys having a conversation about no conversation. Think about that one. Hello, Puff? Make a point. Come with a point. You got a point? Make a point. Say something intelligent. Hello?
The point is because what was the other checks? The checks. You were mad about the checks too not being issued. So that's the third one. What was the fourth one that you also brought up in that 10 spiel? What else was it? That was the check for the wars. That was the Epstein deal. What else was it?
You weren't paying attention.
Bro,
I started talking. Yeah. Alright, go ahead, continue.
I remember 3 talks from yesterday. If I listen to how all these to track what you're saying, but you're loading the fucking question, making it intentionally long, repeating yourself. You're trying to fucking stun me, bro. So what is the fourth one? Sorry, I forgot. It was the 10-minute fucking spiel, bro. That's why I got pissed off. What was the fourth one that you said? What was the fourth one?
Imagine having a conversation about a conversation from yesterday, but making no points, and you gave 3 variables, and you're worried about a 4th variable, but the guy won't tell you the 4th variable because it was a 10-minute spiel about a lot of generalized shit. And then you're back here on Pride Day on Sunday, 28th of June, 2026, talking about yesterday's conversation. Hey, Abdul is here. Welcome. Sing us a love song, a prideful song, Abdul Qadir. Take it away.
कहने से डरता है वो मेरे साजन 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 मेरे साजन मेरा दिल भी इतना पागल है ये प्यार जो तुमसे करता है मेरा दिल भी इतना पागल है पल से को समझाता हूँ हर पल से को
the intermission, we let Abdul's a special guest every time he comes up here. He gets to be able to song in peace. Thank you.
Does that promote America first?
He's I didn't see that either.
Live.
I don't think it's very fun, man. Who looks a lot like you, so funny.
Nice.
So this is, you know, not. I don't think that our opposites necessarily listening. You say you run for mayor, and then you secretly collect signatures for alderman time. And not tell us so, until you submit.
That's fucking.
You like it?
That's genius.
And really hardcore on the mayor stuff.
That's a very, very good idea.
Here's the thing: is that the Chicago Republicans try to rig it to make sure no Republicans run. And so I feel like you might be able to walk on the ballot, or at least piss off whatever plain Republican they want to like raise money on.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, but if you're running, they'll for sure put someone out. Isn't your guy Republican?
No, he's done. He's just looked at his Instagram. He's doing professional podcasts talking about how the city sued him, and he had to like 100, all this money to defend it. Anyways, he has
this Republican shit. I know. I've been following that.
Yeah, he has an opponent. There's a woman that filed and a trans person that filed.
No, and a guy. I know a guy that's running against him.
Yeah.
Named Adam. He's a he works for the CTU's DSA guy.
To get the signature,
he might lose.
Signatures for alderman, it's only like 750 signatures or something.
You actually can do that. I really want you to at least try to do yourself this time and not rely on Craig's people.
Yeah, I mean, this time is going to be. It's only 750 signatures. That's worth it. Like 15,000
outside your house. What if you actually did 20 a day? Like
just imagine money, and we say we get 30,000 for the mayoralship, and they challenge it, and we lose the challenge. Like, could you imagine how fucking frustrating that would be? It would be insane.
Yeah, imagine you spent $60K to get the signatures, or $120K, and so much time.
Unbelievable. Oh, you know,
that'd be fun. It's not the end of the world.
Okay, so listen to this strategy. I also thought that if I run as an independent for the mayor, I can create a new party, and we'll just call it Brandon.
No, there is no party.
Well,
there's no party for mayor.
Oh, really? I thought
it's not partisan. No, he's not a Democrat or Republican technically, or anything.
See, I was just thinking, like, when you file though, on the petition you have to put the party name. So
for mayor, I don't think you do.
Have you seen it's the same petition every time, dude.
No, sort of. No, for different offices it's different. And I'm like, I haven't seen the mayor's petition in 4 years, obviously. But dude, it's nonpartisan. That's a fact.
I've seen anyways, but my point is, if there is a line for party, we could put a ridiculous name for the party, like Brandon Johnson is a criminal fraudster party.
So someone did not Hitler some shit. Like someone's running as an independent write-in, like Hitler was right for governor.
Well, see that proves my point. You can use any name for the party.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's an extreme. Like, don't do that. But that proves the point.
Well, I'll do something.
I think that might be on the. Cause I think that's being debated right now.
Well, anyways, I like your idea there. I like that pivot move. That's like when you play basketball.
But you got to keep it. It's kind of like that trick play that you have for the fourth quarter basketball the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key. And also this time, I think just like, dude, if you could just come on and just once in the morning, like just once in the morning and then once like in the evening, every day for like 3 weeks to a month, you'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think you should do it yourself. There's no other way. And other people like myself will help out, but you want to make sure that you get like $750 yourself, and then other people get you the extra. That's my opinion. That's how I've always done it for my campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you accept extra help, but I make sure I got at least enough on my own.
So, what was I going to tell you about Illinois Record? Is that, bro, you have to start creating on YouTube, my man. You have to.
No. How?
You
just redo what you do and just read my articles?
Well, either way, I saw that it's the largest platform even on television now. Because you know how people have smart TVs. It's like people just open YouTube.
I only watch YouTube on.
Yeah, so it's like, bro, you have to take Illinois Record to a higher level of creation on YouTube. And I don't know what you're waiting for, but here you are being consulted. I'm a communication consultant here to give you the good news.
For your consultation, and I'm saying so for the medium is YouTube. Is the format like more loosey podcast? Is it more like investigative, like a 60 Minutes piece? Is it?
I don't know. This is, as the president and CEO of Illinois Record, these are all decisions you're going to have to creatively make yourself.
I know. I'm going to make the decision.
I know, but you just said you don't. You just said you don't want to be consulted, so I'm pulling back.
No, I do. No, I literally said I do want to be. Like, no, I said the opposite. You must have misheard me.
Oh.
You can play back the podcast.
Well, I
do want to be consulted.
I have a Jewish friend who lives in Maine, and he does a lot of artistic work. And I said, bro, buy this phone and start filming your process and the work that you do on a time-lapse photo. And he did it, and he's got millions of views now of his artwork. And he's like, John, you are the best communication consultant a friend could ever ask for.
Yeah, exactly. You are a communicator, and you also understand the modern era, and you're in the ground level. And so, I'm earnestly curious on, like, how long should it be, and and what should be the angle.
Your problem is.
Should it be more investigative? Should it be more informational?
I think just like doing the long form podcast is the best way to do it.
Like an hour just on Aaron Del Mar, for example.
Yeah, but just
I'm just like using specifics, like how.
In the same
long-form podcast, do I interview someone? Am I talking about a subject? Am I talking about subjects?
Well, let me ask you this. What are you doing right now with John Kitover, the communication consultant? You're talking to him on the phone.
I'm asking questions.
While he live streams the convo. This is the work that I'm asking you to do right now.
No, you're doing. I'm talking about like the.
You need to be doing what I'm doing.
This is not necessarily the format for the record.
Please hold on 1 second. The communication consultant is speaking. I'm just telling you that until you get a phone up on a tripod, you're worth less than a tripod, my friend. And a tripod is only $4.95.
That's deep.
So how much do you cost? Because you got 2.5 billion seconds to spend.
Less than $25, apparently.
Do you have any moral values? Do you ever make a moral pronouncement? When was the last time you made a moral pronouncement and said, I'm worth more than a $4.95 tripod?
I mean, I've made moral pronouncements. I've never made that moral pronouncement. Interesting. This is interesting. This is all interesting stuff. But so when's this podcast? But like, so my main question is interview or myself. So you're right.
What I'm trying to say is, you experience you have to be maker. Ultimately, what's happening? Don't create videos. I'm just telling you that it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're not creating videos, worth. Hello?
I need to be creating videos too.
Hello? Hello? Listen. Just have one go up on YouTube, and I'm sorry, it doesn't matter what industry you're gonna work in. If you're not a filmmaker, live tripod.
That should be a book on top.
How much are you worth? Well, I ain't even worth. We should make a song. I ain't even worth tripod. It'll be a banger. It'll be a new Drake. It'll be a new song. These girls be dancing in the $14.95. Try to treat yourself a little. And give back. Invest in yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
Invest in yourself. It's the best investment you'll ever make.
Exactly. Okay, so yeah, treat yourself. Maybe I'll go with you $4.95.
That's why Brandon Johnson's always saying, you gotta invest in the youth, because he never invests in himself.
Get over it, man. Show him wisdom.
Oh, you're the one that told me that. Where it's true.
They are.
They're like automatons. Like there's no spirit in the machine. It's unbelievable.
Did you see the full like the 4-minute clip of Dwayne Adams and Jenny McGuire spazzing out?
I didn't see the full thing.
That was so funny. They call Rocio Pinata. She's a fucking loser.
See that they're even talking about him is like the publicity that the person is trying to create in the first place. That's what they.
So that's why. Just tell the fact I make this random older dad ads and trees. He's like huffing and puffing.
He's your bet.
He is a campaign manager, and some demo record was great.
He's the best publicist you could ever have.
What?
He's the best publicist you could ever have. You didn't even have to aim for it.
I know. Well, maybe a good intro.
We're doing it right now. Doing it right now.
You see how he's like commentary? I'm like, wow, he's doing an ad for me.
There you go.
He attacks. He writes commentaries, reviews for $5.95.
He's like, we are the media. We're coming after you, Max Rice. Because he knows.
You know why he's saying that? It's because I have Illinois Record has obtained footage of his wife beating up dudes. What do you call this? So she's saying, John, wait, tell me out with this. What's the technical term for this? She's basically telling the guy that, she's basically like up on him and saying, do you want to get laid? Do you want to get laid? I want to, like, why'd you, all this, like, stuff. And she's punching him. And in the video, like, what's the term of that? What's the crime? It's battery for sure.
Yeah.
But also there's a sexual element.
Sexual physical assault.
She's like, you want to get laid tonight? I'm going to get laid somewhere else. I just want to ride your dick. What the fuck is wrong with you?
How did you legally...
Lawfully. You got to keep that, journal